Hello there, my name is Aaron and I like to kitbash old toys and model kits. This week I have a build off with another scratch builder called You Can Build Models. Give him some love by liking and subscribing to his channel and go check out what his build is right after this one. So we know what that means. Let's start scratching that build. So his brief was simple: build something featuring a land vehicle of my choice from the American Wild West. It sounded simple, but I soon ran into some difficulties. It appeared all the avenues I went down looking for Wild West model kits were of a very British nature. You know, World War I and World War II soldiers. To go find anything of a Wild West sort of theme would require months of waiting for delivery, so I had to go a different route and opt for some toy cowboys and Indians from a playset. What I received was terrible. Very cheap looking, but since that was all I could get my hands on, I had to make this work. And I found myself in a strange position of getting stressed out because of the build. I had to, use some of this stuff, but while I was jotting down ideas, I stumbled across an old X-Files documentary and saw a picture of a traditional flying saucer stuck in the ground having crashed. You know, sometimes the simple ideas are the best. So you'll have seen the thumbnail that I put on the start of this video, and so that's what I decided to do. I crashed U.F.O that had smashed through this Wild West wagon truck with a couple of cowboys looking on in disbelief. So it was time to take apart the wagon. Once the wagon was apart, I got some coffee stirring sticks and just started sticking some wood here and there just to try and cover up some of the empty plastic without any details. And this bit took a while, so while you see me just do some clips of sticking coffee stirrers to plastic, I'm going to drop some names on the screen which are my subscribers that have left fantastic funny comments that made me chuckle. Thank you very much all for leaving comments. Please do keep your comments coming, it helps the channel and it also gives me a little chuckle with some of the funny comments that you leave. In all my builds, I've always built weird and wonderful looking spaceships, but never a saucer. Now was the time. Trying to work out how to find a saucer shaped spacecraft was the next problem. I was thinking maybe cardstock with a little XPS foam board until I found these babies. Plant pot trays to catch water. The other half has them dotted around the house, and with a little David Blaine magic, she'll never notice, I borrowed two replacing them so she wouldn't notice. Spoiler alert, she did notice. This spaceship was going to be the most easiest spaceship I've ever done. I just sanded it down and glued either disc to each other, and then just I gave it a little spray as well because, you know, I was feeling happy with myself. To hide the fact that they were plant pot trays and it wasn't a spaceship, I brought out some cardstock and just made some shapes really and stuck them down to the plastic. Then I brought out some greeblies from my greebly box and just chose random bits and pieces and stuck them down as well. Keen-eyed viewers will notice two tart tins in the top left hand corner. That will be all revealed very shortly. But right now what I'm working on is adding some greeblies to my spaceship, and this was just simply bits and pieces from, I do believe, an old tank model kit. Now the jam tart tin. I was thinking of how could I make something for the middle which traditionally is another saucer shaped, and it was after eating a jam tart that I threw away this lid and then thought, hang on now, I could use this if I just stick some foam board into the middle of it just to give it some strength, and then hot glue it down. And that's what I did. Now, I got grief for missing this out on my last video, so if you're new here and want to leave a comment, put this code word at the start so I know you got here before skipping to the glamour shots. And the code word is Agent Scully. Also, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So, shameless begging over with, back to the build, and I'm sticking rivets onto the spaceship because, hey, why not? I don't know what spaceship looks like. I've never well, no, I think I have seen a spaceship or a flying saucer. I've seen something. I've seen lights in the sky very close to where I used to live, but that is a whole different story. Back to this build, that's XPS foam, and that is going to be the base for my flying saucer. And the idea is the flying saucer is going to be traveling along the ground and just land sort of sideways up, really. It's time to get cutting. So I just make a simple channel down the XPS foam with a sharp blade. Always remember to use a sharp blade because this XPS foam will blunt your blades faster than... I didn't think that one through, did I? Damn it. Move on. So after a while of cutting, I got a channel like this and then moved on to pliers to pull out the rest of it. I don't want to try and hit the base and make a hole in the bottom, which I did. Remember the foam board that I randomly posted in the video earlier on? Yeah, that's going to be stuck to the bottom of this XPS foam. So I'm just trying to position the flying saucer to make sure that the angle is correct, and bloody hell, oh no, yeah, no, I see, I don't want to stick this to the base, I just want it to sit properly, so I'm just going to use some chunks of XPS foam oh gosh, let's just pretend this, oh no, cut the video and move on. So with some wizardry editing, you'll see me now adding some little bits of this XPS foam using the hot glue gun, and I assure you that the flying saucer is not glued down simply because I need to paint it next. But before we get to that, I have an announcement. Exciting news! I have chosen a name for all the names that were suggested by my viewers for the airbrush. You know who you are, and you suggested this name, and that is the name I'm going to use because the airbrush always makes me angry. So come on, angry airbrush, do your worst. Ah yes. Oh, so you decide to behave. Oh, whatever. So the angry airbrush isn't as angry as I thought it was going to be. Oh no, hang on now, just a second. Yeah, it's misbehaving. Here we go. What a perfect name. I love this name. It's making me angry already. I'm trying to paint this base, but it's not spraying anything properly. So we'll just move on, shall we? So as you can see from the Bob Ross style painting that I have on screen, I actually was using a paintbrush at the same time because this airbrush was just taking the piss, basically. Excuse my French. So let's just move on again. So I sprayed the XPS foam with some like a yellow. That's Jeff, the hairdryer. He had to come out because of contract reasons. He was getting a bit jealous with Anger, the airbrush, taking all the limelight. So that's a quick shot of Jeff just drying the XPS foam so I can move on to the next bit. At this point I was losing all hope and sanity with the airbrush, Anger. So I just tried to spray a little light ochre over the base before giving up on a bad job. So I jumped onto Amazon and bought this Vallejo Diorama FX sand sort of stuff that hopefully will make it look like sand. It's a paste and ooh, hello. No, I'm not going to taste it. I'm not that stupid. So let's stick it onto the diorama and see what it does. So I carefully and daintily used this paste and just started dabbing it around the diorama until I got bored and just slapped it all over. I put that to one side to dry and it was on to the flying saucer. I primed the flying saucer with a rattle can of grey or a spray can of grey, and then hit it with some metallic silver, and I'm using some new airbrush paint. I've forgotten what company it's from, and Angus seems to be behaving, which is odd because you're kind of waiting for it just to splutter or just not spray out anything. Yeah, it's been very good recently. Yeah, is this the same airbrush? It's got to be the same airbrush. Anyway, painted all that silver. While the flying saucer dried, it was on to the tacky cowboys, and I just did a quick paint job on them before moving on to the even tackier toy wagon that I tried to prime and then spray brown. So no amount of painting would cover up the tackiness of this toy stuff, so I did what anybody else would have done. I decided just to break it all apart and just use it for little parts. Going back to the flying saucer, I just tried to hit it with some black just to give it some sort of like burn scorch marks. I didn't want to break this up because I thought the flying saucer was going to be tough because it's flying through the space, and it's got to be a tough son of a bitch to you know, dodge and hit and deflect all those asteroids that are in space, allegedly. So that's what I did, just did that, and then oh yeah, I forgot to film the explosion that I made that you see in the thumbnail. I'll have to do it in a future video, but for now my explanation was I couldn't sleep one night and just went down to the workbench and made like an explosion out of some chicken wire, some cotton wool buds, and a lot of paint, and then stuck some lights in it. So we might as well just move on to the glamour shots next. So all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, after you've watched this, jump over to You Can Build Models and watch what he made. It's probably 10 times better than what I've done. And until next time, well, you know, keep scratching that build, everybody. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that YouTubery stuff. Don't forget to stay after the glamour shots because you'll see how the other half found out that I was using some of her plant pot trays. So look, glamour shots are next. Thanks for watching. Bye. Ooh, what do we have here? Okay, I'll just take this and replace it with this. She will never know.
Aaron!
Shit.